The end goal of color correction and color grading for many people, including myself most of the time, is just to make a shot look cooler. And there's nothing wrong with that, that's perfectly respectable. However, you want to retain as much detail in the image as possible while doing this. When a pixel in an image turns completely black, or completely white, it is essentially gone, a complete highlight or a complete shadow. There are a bunch of in-camera techniques that you can use to preserve detail while filming, but that's for another video. We're not going to talk about that. So in this video, we're just talking about editing. And for my main color correction tool, I'm going to be using curves. There are other tools like color correction wheels, but you should really avoid wheels at all costs. It's a dark path. Tools like wheels and dials really don't give you as much control as a more detailed tool like curves. Curves offers an infinite number of points to control value, while levels and dials and stuff only give you like those three. Highlights, midtones, and shadows. Those are the three, in case you didn't know that. In addition to curves, I'll be using a few different color correction tools later on, but we'll get to that. Go ahead and drag curves onto your clip. The curve is a visual diagram of the brightness levels in your shot. The bottom is the darkest part of the clip, and the top is the brightest part. See those points on the ends there? Yeah, don't touch those. Those are the brightest and darkest parts of the image, and moving them will almost always result in clipping. Instead, add in points in between, and use those to add in contrast. Don't allow any part of the line to touch the top or the bottom of the box, because those are the complete highlights and shadows that you want to avoid. Now, of course, you'll still end up with clipping at a certain point, but this way you have a lot more control. To make sure you aren't pushing anything too far, add a level histogram after the curves. This will just allow you to see the range of brightness levels in your clip. You want to avoid pixels piling up on the edges. That's clipping. Make sure you turn off the levels histogram effect when you're done with it though, because rendering that graph on every single frame will bog down your computer. To find specific areas that are clipping, you can use a luminance key. To find highlights, set the key to remove darker areas and turn the threshold all the way up. To find darker areas or shadows, set the threshold all the way down and set it to remove brighter areas. Finally, there's one more thing you can do to save yourself some time with this. That is to take all of those effects, rename them properly, and create a preset that you can use in the future. If you use these effects for every single clip, then this is going to save you a bunch of time in the long run. I actually have an entire video about how to use presets on this channel. That'll be linked like right there. Yeah, right there. Okay, yeah, get out. Anyway, that's all for this video. All the usual outro stuff. New videos at like 3:30 p.m. EST on Mondays. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Is that generic? It's generic, isn't it? Okay, let's do it.